Hello everyone, this is the mining geologist and I am back again with another very exciting and very informative tutorial. I know that a lot of you have been waiting for this tutorial or this video for so long, and I'm really sorry that it took this much, but here we are. So as probably it is mentioned in the title, this video is going to be about the Implicit Modeler plugin, which is a plugin for QGIS that allows you to do implicit modeling and other things that we'll cover in this video. So this video is going to be divided into two parts. The first part, I'm going to show you a demo of the plugin, how you can use it, and what it is actually available right now in the proof of concept version, and what are the expected things to be available in the future. And then in the second part, I'm going to tell you how you can get this plugin probably in the near future, and how can you contribute to make the development process a little bit faster, and other things related to the Implicit Modeler plugin. So if this is something that you've been waiting for so long, this is the video finally, so make sure to watch it all and see you in the video. So the implicit modeler in the future is not going to be part of QGIS. I mean, like, you're not going to be able to use implicit modeler part of QGIS when you download it, but it is going to be an external plugin that you can download from the plugins menu. Now, when you open the implicit modeler, it should take about 2/3 of your screen because you need that area for the 3D viewer here to display things properly and view them in properly in your screen. Now, when you open the implicit modeler, you will notice that the interface is really simple, and I believe anyone with some knowledge in geological modeling packages or like mining packages will be able to pick it up really easily, because the interface is not overwhelming and it's really simple. Now, there are four different viewers. There's the 3D viewer, in which you can display like geological models, drill holes, and wireframes, block model, and so on. There's the 2D view. It's basically for anything in 2D, like images and sections. Charts is for charts, and tables for any kind of tabular data. Now, there are two different themes, the light theme and the dark theme, so you can choose whatever one that you want. And you can also change the background color. So let's pick the black, for example, to show you how it works. And you can use the black color. And let's revert back to the this color and click on OK, and we have that color back. Now, in the implicit modeler, you're not able, or at least currently, you're not able to import files directly to the implicit modeler, because the plugin is going to use the layers available in QGIS. So what you do is you import your shape files or your table data or your DXF files inside QGIS as layers, and then you can pick these layers from these drop-down menus in the implicit modeler. So, for example, you can import the color table as a point shape file in QGIS, and you have like the X, Y, and Z coordinates and everything that you need for the D survey inside the attribute table, and you will be able to import that in the implicit modeler. So for topography, currently, or in this proof of concept, we will be able to use only CSV file or a table in which we have or a shapefile with X and Y and Z coordinates, and we can use that to create a surface. But in the near future, you will be able to use a DXF file, a shapefile, like either it is point data or contours, to create a 3D surface of the topography. And why not also DMs, which means like you can use raster topography inside the implicit modeler. So let's go and pick that topography, which is the one in here. And any layer that you pick in the implicit modeler, in the second few drop-down menus, you will have access to the different attributes stored in that layer. In our case, in that topography, we have X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to choose X in the X, Y in the Y, and Z in the Z. What you will notice also that we have that 1.2, which means that that field that we've just selected, it is actually a float, which means a number with decimals. And you'll notice also that that first one, the FID, is basically an integer, which means we have like different IDs like 1, 2, 500, so without decimals. And there's also the other type, which is strings or characters or text data. So you'll find that as ABC. So if you're going to be using this plugin and you'll notice that there's an issue, it might be that the format or like the type of the field is not the right one. So make sure that, for example, when you're using numeric data, that the field is actually numeric. And when you're using categorical data, that the field is actually contains some text data. So the next thing that we can do now is we can choose the color for this topography. I'm going to choose this blue and I'm going to click on generate topography. And this one is going to use these X and Y and Z coordinates to create this topography for us. And you'll notice also that we have like a navigation menu here. So we can view this one from the top, we can view it from the bottom, we can view it from any of these two sides. There will be some other tools for the navigation in the future, but these are just the basic ones. Okay, another feature that it is currently available, but it is in its basic forms, which is creating sections. And I'm going to tell you in a moment what kind of things that you will be able to do in the future with this tool. So currently you can go and digitize things in 3D and you will be able to snap directly to that 3D layer. So I'm going to go and create a section that crosses this area. Then I'm going to go and choose the color for this one. I want it to be red. And I'm going to choose the section depth or like the lowest elevation to be maybe 250. And I'm going to go and click on create section. So what this one is going to do, it's going to create a section in that area that I've chosen. And you can see that I've set the depth or the maximum or the lowest elevation for that one. This section is available both in 3D view and a 2D view. So you can see that I have that. And it is clipped by the topography automatically from the top. Now in the future, currently that's it for now, but in the future you will be able to digitize things in these sections and you will be able to incorporate these features that you've digitized in your implicit model. So for example, if you've created a lithology and you want to fix some lithologies that were created from drill holes only and you want to add some strings and you digitize some polylines that will be used or points that will be used to correct that shape, you can digitize them on this section. So I believe this is something that you're familiar with in other packages and it will be available also in the implicit modeler. Now another thing that you will notice is that we have different listing in here. So this one is for the 2D layers. So we have one section here. We can go right click and choose either to export that one or to delete it. I'm going to delete this one. And also you can see in the 3D we have only the topography. So this is going to be the topography. And what we can do also is we can clear the view using this option here. And if I click on this one, it's going to delete everything that is currently visible in the 3D view. Okay. So the next thing is drill hole data. So like in any other geology or mining package, the first step that you'll need to do is to tell the software what are the tables that you will use. So, or you link the tables with the tables that are built into the software. So for example, you will need to display drill holes, you need color, survey, and at least geology or assay, which are two different optional interval data They're optional if you want to just display like the path of the drill hole, but you need something in there. So something to display, so you need one of these. So let's go and pick the color, for example. Here I'm going to pick the survey, and I'm going to pick the geology here, and that one is going to be the assay. I'm going to pick it again, so that's the assay. So then the next thing, since we've told the software now that the color table is this table, the survey is that, and so on, we can go to the fields. And again, now in the color fields, we have access to the fields that are in that table that we've chosen. So I'm going to pick the hole ID for the hole ID, X for the X, Y for the Y, and Z for the Z. Another thing that I can do is I can click on View Table, and if I go to Tables, I will be able to view that table. I can do the same thing for the survey, hole ID, then dip, azimuth, and depth. And I believe this is something that you're already familiar with. I can view the table if I want to. The geology table is basically the hole ID again, the from, and the to depths. And the lithology is going to be that rock field. I can view that table. And then now I have also the assay table. I'm going to choose the hole ID, and then the from, and then to. And then for the assay, currently you can choose just one field, but that's going to change in the future. So you can have like multiple assay data inside the same table, but you need to pick just one to display that in 3D. In our case, we already have just one, which is gold. I can go and display this one if I want. And let's go back to the 3D viewer, because now I want to do the desurveying, and I want to look at the drill holes in 3D. So I need to choose whether I want to see the assay data or the geology data. If you want to see something with text fields like geology table, you need to pick categoric. And if you want to see something numeric like the assay data, you need to pick the numeric one. So, and you notice that you cannot check these two boxes at the same time, because that's not possible. So let's go and look at the geology data first, and then we can take a look at the assay. So let's go and click on Get Data. This one is basically going to do the desurvey in the background. And then if I click on Plot Drill Holes, it should plot the drill holes in 3D for me. Now, currently, there is no option to change the colors for the different lithological layers, but this is just a proof of concept, so you don't expect all the different features to be available there. This is just to to let everyone knows that this is possible, and such a software or such a plugin can be created. So you don't have to fill it with all the different optional things, but they can be added later on easily, like changing the colors and so on. So let's look at the data, and you can see that we have these drill holes there in 3D. Now that's really cool. Now we can go and clear the view, but now we're going to choose numeric, and I'm going to click on Get Data and Plot Drill Holes. And now this one is going to show me the assay data. And now it might not be very visible, but it's saying the grade in here, and these are the different grade values, the minimum and the maximum. Maybe if I choose like a black color, it's going to look better. Yeah, you can see the grades that the maximum is 9.87, and that these are actually colored by the different grades. So that's what you can do with the and also you can see that the drill holes are in this option, the drill hole names are visible, because you've noticed in the geology it's not, but that's an option that will be added later. So you can choose whether to see the names or not. So, and whether you see these as points or as like intervals. So all of these options are going to be available, and you can choose whatever you want. Also, you can see that the color here, it's not really visible. Maybe that one should be black. So all of these things that, these minor things are going to be added later on. Now, in terms of wireframing, there will be an option to create grade shells. So you can choose the grade and you can create grade shells and you can generate them. There will be also lithologies. So you'll have access to all of these different lithologies from the lithology table. And you can choose the type of that lithology, whether it is like a deposit or like a vein or something like that. And you will be able to model individual lithologies. And you can also import an external wireframe. So that's going to be possible. It is actually possible now, I believe. So let me go and import that wireframe, which is this one. And let me go, and it's from Vulkan, I believe. So let's go and import this one. And if I go to the top view, you can see that it is a pit. That was a DXF file that we were able to import here as a wireframe or a 3D wireframe. So that's really cool. You can also call this whatever you want, and it's going to be displayed as that layer in here. So these are the currently available option in the wireframing. There's also the geological models. You can see it's automatically picking the different lithologies, and I can set the chronology for this one. So saying that this one is younger than that one, and this one is older than this one, and then I can click on build model. So for that one, let me go and use a different data set, and I will show you how it works. Okay, so I've loaded another data set, and I believe for everyone who's familiar or have been watching my channel, really familiar with this data set, I use it in all the different mining packages and in my tutorials. So let's go to the geological model, and you will see that I have now these lithologies, and I can go and do I believe F6, and then 5, and then 4, 2, I mean like 3, and then, where is that? 3, and then 2, sorry, 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so why I didn't use this feature with the other data set, because like in the other data set there's some layers that intersects the drill hole in multiple locations, which the algorithm currently does not support such a thing, so you'll be not able to create that automatically. It's going to cause some issues. So I use this this one here, this data set, because it is perfectly stacked on the top of each other. So, but the next version or the final version is going to be hopefully supporting all kind of operations that you can do in any software, or ultimately you can go and model each one of these lithologies individually. So and then what I can do is I can go and click on build model, and this one should build these lithologies automatically for me, and you can see that it is creating them automatically. And based on the complexity of your model, you need to wait a little bit, and also there will be an option in the future to change the resolution if you want these like super fine, or you want them like to be low res wireframes, which is going to be faster. So yeah, so currently we are going to wait for these for a moment, and you can see also there's not an option to change the colors for the different wireframes, but that's going to be an option hopefully in the future. But you can see it's doing a pretty good job so far into creating these wireframes, and also the wireframes are loaded here, so we can go and remove this one, for example, and you can see that we've removed that one. We can go and remove this one, and you can see that we can look at the other wireframes. Okay, So that was the geological modeling feature or the automated one. So there's an option for block models, but it's not there yet. It's still it's a feature that is going to be in the tool, but it's not ready yet to be shown. And then we also have like the different charts. So what you can do is you can look at some basic stats. So you can pick the assay table, for example, and you can choose that field gold, and you can apply a top cat, for example, and like let's go and show the stats. These are the different stats for that assay field. So you can see the different stats in here, and you can maybe, let's say, the maximum is 135. So let's set the maximum to 20 maybe and show stats. And you can see that the stats are going to change based on that top cut that we've chosen. Okay, then also we can go and create some histograms. So the field is, I'm going to pick the assay, and the field is going to be gold, for example. I can go to charts, number of pins, I'm going to go with 10 maybe. And by default, these are the top cat and the minimum, but you can change these if you want. And I can click on show histogram. And you can see that I'm getting a histogram here. I can change the number of pins to like 20 maybe and show the histogram. I can set the top cut here to 20 again, show histogram, and you can see that it is updated. Maybe number of pins like 30 and see if that's okay. Yeah, and that's gonna update the histogram. Another thing that we can do also is scatter plot. Let's go and create a really simple scatter plot, maybe with a color table. I'm going to use the X and Y, and this is going to probably show us like a top view of our drill holes. So let's go and plot the scatter, and you can see also it's going to show us like a trend line. So you can use this the way that you want. And there will be more options in the charts in the future, but these just to show you that what is possible to be incorporated in the implicit modeler plugin. So this is the demo. This is what's currently available in this proof of concept, but this is not the final product. There will be a lot of tools and a lot of things that will be added to this plugin, and I'm sure that this is going to help a lot of small companies who cannot afford like buying a subscription for a mining package or geological modeling software, because I know that they are like very expensive, and some companies cannot afford these, or even students, if they just want to do like a project or something, they don't have access to these packages, and sometimes the university itself needs to buy that package for like, in the full university will have like access to 2 or 3 licenses, and you know, most of the time not everyone can use these packages. So this tool is going to be an alternative. It's not going to replace these commercial packages in the near future. It's not going to do that, but it's going to be an alternative that you know, people that don't want to invest a lot of money to do like basic stuff. Some people just want to look at the drill hole data. They want to do like some basic stats. They want to do basic filtering, creating some basic surfaces and basic wireframes. And they're not ready to invest into these packages. They cost like thousands of dollars for like a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription. So this is the idea of the project. Now, the big question is, when do we expect this project to be ready, or how can we make the process faster or support this project? Because a lot of you, I've noticed that a lot of you are interested in supporting this project, because I know you guys know how important is this in our industry. Because in other industries, like, I don't know, like GIS, for example, there's ArcGIS, which is a paid software. There's an alternative, which is Qgis. So people or companies that cannot afford ArcGIS, they can use Qgis. But Qgis is backed by the community. And this is what I want, is I want this to be backed by the community. I want this to be an open source project that anyone can add tools and can improve this software. It's true that it will start as a plugin for QGIS, but what I'm aiming for is like a suite of tools, like for mine design, for implicit modeling, for scheduling, for underground mine design related things. So this is the idea, and this one is going to be like a community product. So your support is going to decide whether this one is going to be a reality or it's going to be just a proof of concept and it's going to take ages to finish. So if you would like to support this project, there are two different ways. You can either share this video so people are aware that such a thing exists and such a thing can be possible, and we're really close to achieving that. And also, you can also support this financially. I mean, like when I mention the word financially, it doesn't mean like you need to be a company or to like support this with thousands of dollars. So you can go to this page to see the progress for the development, and there will be like when there will be a new tool added and it's finished, it will be here. And at some point there will be some beta testers that will test the software with their own data, and there will be a feedback from them to see what kind of things that need to be added, what kind of things need to be fixed. So this is going to be where you can see all of that stuff. And another thing is you can go to this one to all of the links are going to be in the description below. So make sure to check the description, and you can go and support this one with whatever amount that you want. So it could be like 10, 25, 50, or a custom amount. You can go for $5 and you can just donate to this project, and it is going to help this dream be a reality in as soon as possible. And everyone, when this project is finished and ready and everyone is happy with the results from the beta testers and everyone that tried the software or the plugin is going to be free for everyone, and anyone can benefit from this one, can add tools, can improve existing tools, and can use it the way he wants without paying a single penny. So that's the Implicit Modeler, and it's a promising project that I hope it is going to be a reality in the upcoming months or weeks. So, and with that being said, I hope this video was informative for all of you.
Cause he's the mining geologist, here to show you all the things that you might have missed. He's got plenty of software tips and tricks for your geoscience life.